They didn't lose. For years, we told ourselves the same comforting story, that the biggest band on the planet just kept getting unlucky. 5 nominations, 0 wins, a trophy shelf that stayed empty while stadiums around the world sold out in minutes. We called it a snub. We called it politics. We even had a nickname for it, the Scammies. But we were wrong. All of us. Because in July of 2026, BTS did something no artist at their level has ever done. They didn't beg for a seat at the table. They didn't post a polite thank you for the nomination. They looked at the most powerful award show in music, and they walked away. And in doing it, they exposed a secret the Recording Academy has spent decades trying to keep buried. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see the Grammys completely differently, and you're not going to be able to unsee it. Let's get one thing straight, because it matters. BTS are not underdogs. This is not a story about a small act that couldn't get noticed. In 2021, they became the first K-pop act in history to be nominated for a Grammy. Dynamite, Best Pop Duo Group Performance. The whole world watched. Then Butter the next year. Then in 2023, 3 nominations in a single cycle, including one alongside Coldplay, making them the most nominated Korean act the Grammys had ever seen. 5 nominations. Every single time, the same result. Nothing. Now here's the part that should make your eye twitch. The year BTS was nominated and lost, the ceremony pulled in around 9.5 million viewers. Ratings went up, and analysts openly credited that bump to one thing: BTS being in the building. Sit with that. The show needed them to sell the broadcast. Their performance was the reason people tuned in, and when the envelopes opened, the band that carried the ratings went home empty-handed. That's not bad luck. Bad luck doesn't repeat itself 5 times in a row with that kind of precision. That's a pattern, and patterns have authors. So here's where the Academy thought it was being clever. After years of criticism, after the accusations of bias got loud enough to trend worldwide, the Recording Academy announced a solution. A brand new category, Best Asian Pop Music Performance. And on paper, it sounds like progress. It sounds like inclusion. The Academy could put out a press release, pat itself on the back, and move on. But read it again, slowly. A separate category for Asian pop only. Do you see it yet? Because BTS did. Immediately. They didn't see a door opening. They saw a wall being built. A velvet rope quietly moved so that the biggest Asian act in the world would never again stand next to Taylor, next to Beyonce, next to Harry, in the categories that actually matter: Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year. Instead, here's your own little room, your own little trophy. Now stay in it. That's the secret. That's the whole trick. You don't keep someone out by slamming the door in their face. That looks bad. That makes headlines. You keep them out by building them a nicer looking door that leads somewhere smaller. Now, most artists would have taken it. Think about it. You've lost 5 times. Someone finally offers you a category you're basically guaranteed to win: a Grammy. The word you've been chasing for half a decade. Just say yes, smile, take the trophy. BTS said no. RM, the leader, put it in writing. And I want you to hear the exact words because they're surgical. He said, "We have decided not to submit our music to the Grammys this year. We hope that music can be heard and loved for its own sake, rather than being distinguished by region and language." Region and language. That's not an emotional outburst. That's a scalpel. Because the fine print of that shiny new category required songs to have meaningful use of an Asian language to even qualify. And here's the twist that makes the whole thing collapse. BTS's new album, Arirang, is roughly half in English. The title track, Swim, the single, Normal, both entirely in English, which means the category built for them actually made them ineligible. Read that one more time. The Academy created an Asian pop box, told the world it was for artists like BTS, and wrote the rules so that BTS's actual music couldn't even fit inside it. It was never a door. It was a decoy. And instead of quietly pointing that out in an interview, BTS did the one thing an institution like this can't survive. They refused to participate at all. They took away the thing the Grammys needed most: their name on the poster. The moment that statement went out, it stopped being a fan argument. The fan base, ARMY, had a word for what the category really was. Segregation, not inclusion, separation dressed up as a gift. And this time, they weren't the only ones saying it. Because think about what BTS just proved to every other artist watching. They proved you don't need the trophy. BTS has broken sales records, filled stadiums on multiple continents, top charts in countries that don't share a language, all without a single competitive Grammy. Their entire career is living evidence that the trophy was never the thing measuring the music. The music was measuring the trophy, and that's the nightmare scenario for an award show. An award show only has power for as long as artists want what it's handing out. The second the biggest act alive says out loud, "We don't need this," and here's why it's rigged against us, the spell breaks. Suddenly everyone's asking the question the Academy never wanted asked. If the most nominated Korean act in history looked at your new category and called it an insult, what does that say about all the old ones? That's not a snub anymore. That's a mirror, and the Grammys are staring right into it. So let's zoom out, because this was never really just about BTS. Every gatekeeping institution runs on the same quiet bargain. We decide what's great, and you, the artist, the audience, you agree to believe us. That's it. That's the entire machine. Belief. The trophies are gold-plated, the tuxedos are expensive, the broadcast looks official, but strip all of it away, and what's left is a group of people voting on taste and asking the rest of the world to treat their taste as truth. For decades, that bargain held because nobody big enough was willing to break it. Losing artists smiled, snubbed artists said it's an honor just to be nominated. Everyone kept playing because opting out felt like admitting you couldn't win. BTS flipped that entirely. They opted out from a position of total strength. Not, we can't win, but we don't accept the terms. And once one artist proves the terms are optional, that you can be the biggest name in music and refuse the gold star, the gate stops looking like a gate. It starts looking like a suggestion. That is the secret they exposed. Not that the Grammys are unfair. Everyone suspected that. The secret is that the whole thing only works if you agree to want it. And the most powerful move on the entire board was to stop wanting it. So the next time an award show tells you who the best of the year is, the next time they hand out a golden gramophone and cut to a standing ovation, I want you to remember this. The biggest band on earth was offered a Grammy on a silver platter, and they said no, not because they couldn't win. Because they finally understood what winning inside a rigged frame actually costs. Your seat at the real table. Your standing as an equal, your name sorted into a smaller box, forever. They didn't lose the Grammys, they exposed them. And the only question left is the one the Academy is dreading tonight. Now that everyone's seen the trick, who's going to be the next one brave enough to walk away?